Hey guys, welcome back to another Bog Garden update. Today is September 12th, 2022, and starting off with the temperates. You can see I've already started processing some of these and getting these ready into smaller pots to sell, although some of these will be staying behind. Obviously, my parent Capensis here will be staying, as well as the Dente here, because I did have to pull some of the Dente out of the large bog for a little while there, just to make sure I was separating things properly. I mean, I do have a little bit of Dente in there, but I want to put some more back in there. Our medium-sized bog, as you could see, doing beautifully. A lot of Capensis. I did pull some of the Capensis out just to make sure I wasn't overcrowding. We do have some hybrids in here. The fly traps are starting to come back very nicely. Our Scarlet Bell doing absolutely wonderful. You'd see a lot of new pictures coming up off that. Same thing here in the smaller bog. I did have to replace the Rotundifolia with a Capensis, but our Leucophila here also doing, like I said, amazing. And this might not be Leucophila. This could be Kingsthorn. The coloring does give the resemblance of Kingsthorn, but at the same time, it does appear to be Leucophila, but it's not as white. There's more maroons in here than there's white, so that leads me to believe it's Kingsthorn. But I guess we will have to see come this autumn, because we are just kicking in, and as you can see, some new refresher traps are starting to come in, so we will find out. But our other Leucophila over here is starting to come back to life this autumn, which is great. That sail leaf has died, but you can see two new leaves coming in, so I'm excited for that one to finally start blooming in. Our Caddisbii has absolutely just taken off. I mean, look how massive that plant is. And our Bonata, I mean, just look how prolific this is with the flowers. It is just absolutely stunning. The traps are starting to die off on it, unfortunately, but that is because we are approaching fall and this thing will start dying back here soon. You see a lot of Utricularia coming up, the terrestrial bladderworts, those small little white flowers right there with the yellow tops. And then we do have some what could be Tokaiensis or Spatulata coming up in both the medium and large bogs. Now, we do see a lot of Capensis across here. Like I said, I am starting to pull these and repot them for distribution, sale, giveaways, donations, whatever. $5 a piece if anybody's interested. Just throwing that out there. Now, you can see our Tracii just doing absolutely wonderful. Look how big that thing is. And yes, this is a Tracii, and surprisingly cold hardy. I am in zone 7A, 7B-ish. You know, we are in the temperate section, not the warm temperate, but just the temperate. But this Tracii has been out here for over a year. It survived the winter, a dual frost winter, keep in mind, this year, and you could see it is just swallowing those green and blue bottles like crazy. And anything it doesn't catch, as you notice, tends to drops right down here into the Capensis or to the fly traps. I mean, everything is loving it. We have our Filiformis Florida Red back there, and the Filiformis Florida Green right here. The Florida Green, as you can see, has gained a lot of height, a lot of mass and everything since I planted it. I mean, you guys saw when I planted it, that thing was kind of looking wimpy, small, sappy, sad. But you could see how well it's just taken off in comparison to the Florida Red over there. I mean, you'd see the Florida Red just nice, small, little bushy, kind of like the Butterfly Valley over here. Not much height, but I mean, you'd see just... It's a nice little touch. I mean, you gotta admit, that's a nice little touch. I am gonna try to redo this bog maybe sometime, maybe switch around the Butterfly Valley with the Filiformis Green over here, maybe spread out some of that Butterfly Valley since there is like 5 plants there. Do something to kind of move some stuff around, because, I mean, while it does look nice the way it is right there, as you could see, I mean, the different height factors here and there just kind of irk me a little bit. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, you got large, small, large, small, large, so I guess that kind of does blend well, but the coloring just kind of throws me off, so I kind of want to maybe move this over here, keep that where it is, but swap out the Bonata for the Tracii around kind of thing. You can see our Purpurea, our Swaniana, and our Scarlet Bell over here also doing absolutely stunning. Our Flava, as you can see, is finally becoming a small little bush. I am worried about that potentially killing itself off if the roots get too big, because as you can see, this planter is not exactly deep. That's about a 6 to 8 inch height gap with 2 inches, holes drilled around 2 inches around the bottom. Moving on here, though, to our tropicals. And already you can see the large, I mean, luscious, thrown out pictures from this larger ventrata here, just doing absolutely amazing. You can see our pinguicula here. This is the agnata crassa marginata that's already flowering with 2 more flower stalks coming in. Our Tinas here and our Pirouette here are not flowering just yet. Honestly, I can't wait for those 2, but it's nice to see at least one of these already starting to flower very prolifically. Now, our Ventratas here, this larger one, as you can see, some of the nectar is starting to get a little sappy, more resiny here at the top on the peristome. I mean, you'd see this one here on the smaller Ventrata, you'd see it's just, yeah, it's just really oozing down this thing. I mean, these things are producing nectar like crazy. They're just loving this grow light. It is doing wonders for it, and you can see both of them are just ecstatic about it. Now, our smaller ones here, the Rebecca Sapor, the Bloody Mary, they were struggling for a little bit. I almost did get root rot from overwatering. Now, this is not fully dry. This is somewhat moist still. I did have to ease back on the water just to make sure these things started to heal. And as you can see by that new leaf coming out from the crown, this one's starting to. They're both actually starting to heal. Same thing with the smaller one, Ventricosa and the Gymnophora Telachma over here. Both are starting to heal. I did pack the mixes too tight in this, and that's because I didn't want the roots to cross. I do know these things don't form very dense roots, but they spread the roots pretty quickly, and I just didn't want the crosses, honestly, of the roots, because it's going to be a pain when I have to separate them later. So I kind of did pack their soil mixes a little tighter, a little more dense than normal, and unfortunately I'm paying the price for that now. It does mean I have to water them less, but at the same time, I have to be careful when I do water them, because obviously I could start getting root rot, and that was almost a big issue, and I don't want that. And then, of course, moving on to our last one here, we have our Alba capensis, which, as you see, is doing absolutely wonderful in this tiny little Vivo Sun hydroponic planter. You can see it's already starting to look like a little mini palm tree, kind of a little bushy, kind of like a little shrub type one. I mean, it's already starting to gain some height, so it's loving this little planter. It's just loving that little T5 grow light. This T5, though, is doing absolutely stunning for all these plants over here. Pinguicula is something I'm definitely going to get more into. I'm going to do some leaf pullings and cultivate those when I get the chance. But I think the Pinguicula, between the Pinguicula and the Capensis, I'm definitely going to start focusing sales on those because, yeah, Capensis is a great beginners. So are Pinguicula, honestly. And the succulent factor come winter for these guys, oh, I mean, best of both worlds. You get the succulent, you get the, carnivorous plant for the gnats and fruit flies. I mean, you can't ask for much more in a house plant. And honestly, these are more than just novelty plants, guys. The art factor behind them, the essence of the cycle of life behind them, the way you can watch, like, especially with Capensis, for example, how the leaf curls around, the prey, and eventually just throws up flower after flower after flower, It's just amazing how you could visualize the cycle of life in an art form with these types of plants. So, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. Catch you all in the next one. Peace out.